Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Austin here, back with another Brawl Stars video. Today, I'm going to be going over the counters to the meta. Meta includes Frank, Lily, Draco, and Meg. If you have any other brawlers, leave it down in the comments, and I'll comment back to tell you what counters there are to that brawler. And while you're down there, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and let's get right into it. Alrighty, guys, the first one that I'm going to be talking about is going to be Frank. I feel like Frank is the most broken brawler in the game at the moment, and I feel like that's probably the easiest one to go after as of right now. Wow. So first, I would like to say that Lou is a great counter to Frank because of his hypercharge, able to freeze your opponent right away as the hypercharge comes out. And not only that, being able to have that distance and kind of taking advantage of having that distance. Taking advantage of having the distance that you have with Lou, being able to pop shots at him from further away, and kind of keeping your distance is great with him. I think that that really helps. And I know that over time it's kind of hard for you to hit shots with Lou's normal attack, but since he's such a big tanky brawler, it's really not that hard to hit shots that often. So with that, I think Lou is the #1 counter to him. Next on the list, we're gonna have Nita. Nita is really good counter as long as you keep your distance against Frank. But not only that, with the bear that you get, you can use the gadget Bear Paws, which stuns the opponent. And I think that's a really good counter if you want to just stun them. I know that most of the time they use the stun gadget as of right now, so they are kind of immune to stuns, but if they're not, I would definitely look into using Nita. Next up on the list is going to be Colette. I think Colette is the best counter to Frank and this meta in general, just because she has good HP, her super knocks back the opponent, and it's hard for tanks to get even close to her after that. And having the gadget to deal extra damage or even to heal is very good in my opinion. For that reason, I believe Colette is the #1 counter to a lot of these tanks and the meta at the moment. So if you don't already, max out Colette and you should have a good time kind of getting over this hump of the meta being Frank and all these other kind of meta brawlers. Next on the list for Frank is going to be Primo. So the reason Primo's on here is because you can stop the super. If you time it correctly, you can stop Frank from slamming the ground. Doesn't matter if he has the stun gadget or not. You can just slam the ground really quickly and it will stop his super, which is very big in this. I mean, that's the reason he's super overpowered, the hypercharge and all. So if you could stop him from using the super, it will really help. So for that, I believe he needs to be on this list. Next up on this list, we're going to have Surge. I know Surge has good range, and not only does he have good range, he can counter Frank almost instantly as long as you have your super just jumping over. I know it's not the greatest thing, and I know it's not the most viable, but yes, if you just have your super and you can time it correctly, it's super hard timing it, but you can just jump over Frank's super and not be stunned and kind of go after him from there. His range also helps with this, so over time, yes, I believe that as long as you time it correctly, Surge is a great counter to Frank. Last on this list for the Frank counters is going to be Buster. Buster, you might think is not that good, but I know what you guys are thinking. Boo, Buster, really? But hear me out. So Buster has the gadget that reflects the attacks oncoming. So if you just get Frank weak and then he starts going crazy because of his new rework, being able to slam the ground super fast, you just pop that gadget, and most Franks are knuckleheads in my opinion, so they will just continuously slam and try to eliminate you. But with that gadget, you're not able to, and it'll backfire on them. So for that reason, Buster is the last counter on this list. 8-4 that game. Let's see what we get out of this star drop. Anything good? YouTube luck. Epic. Okay, let's see. And it's a pin. All right. Next up on this list I'm going to be talking about is going to be Meg. Meg is really good and really strong in this meta. Everybody's using them with the rework. It's crazy good. But in my opinion, the best brawlers to counter Meg are going to be long range damage dealers such as RT and Lola. I know Lola used to be a good counter to Meg, but it kind of fell off for a little bit. But I believe right now, still such a great counter. I think Lola can do a lot of damage and be able to shred Meg very, very easily, especially in a game mode like Gem Grab. So I think that is the best counter to Meg. Next up, we're going to have RT. RT is such a long range damage dealer and can do super high amount of DPS in a short amount of time. So I think with that, really great counter to Meg, can pretty much melt Meg within seconds. So that is why RT is on this list. The final one for the Meg counters is going to be Cordelius. Going in that Shadow Realm and not being able to use your gadget or super or anything is really bad for Meg. So for that reason, I believe that right now, that would be the best counter. Next up, we're going to be talking about Draco. With Draco, you really want to time it so that you can stop the super, stop him from getting the dragon, because the dragon really makes him who he is. Buzz can do that with his star power, and Cordelius could also do that, but you have to time it super, super well. Draco is a great brawler in my opinion. Do I think he's S tier? No, I think he's A tier. He could be S tier depending on who's using him. But with that, I think that the best counters are going to be Buzz, Cordelius, or some of these other meta brawlers on this list, such as Lily, Frank, Meg. Those are great counters to Draco as well. Finally on this list, we are going to be talking about Lily. As you can see, my teammate's using Lily at the moment. I think that just the best way to go about it is being able to try and keep track of where she is on the map and make sure that you know where she is, what bushes she's gone into and such, so that you know where she's coming from, even if she vanishes. Just keep a mental note, kind of help your teammates, and be aware if she's coming in and just gonna vanish on you. So same thing with all the other ones. I can't be aware and be kind of cautious. Stay in groups. Best way to do it is kind of staying in groups sometimes, just being able to mow down somebody like Frank even, or Lily, or somebody like that. It's just harder to figure out where Lily is than it is for Frank. So that's why I'm saying you should probably group up for Lily, just because you don't know where she's coming from. I would say the same thing for Leon. When he goes invisible, you need to kind of stay in a group, take down Leon, but Leon is not as strong as Lily. So next up, first counter is going to be Frank. Obviously Frank's super good. We all know this. Very tanky. That's the reason I say this. So yeah, Frank is a great counter. Next up on this list is going to be Meg with the knockback star power. Makes it very, very hard for Lily to come back at somebody when she's either pushed away or even stunned. So for that reason, Meg is going to be on here. I believe that Charlie's a good counter, because you're able to just kind of put Lily in one spot, even if she sneak attacks you, and just walk away and kind of use that distance again. Maybe even make her waste another gadget. That'd be great. I know what you guys are thinking. Why Larry and Lori? Of all of them, why are they a counter? So, even if Lily uses the Vanish gadget, you are still able to track her with Lori. If the super is popped, you are able to Lori is able to track. So whenever Lori is out on the playing field, it will go after Lily, even if she's in the Shadow Realm, which is very, very good. Keeps an eye on everybody, and just so you don't even have to kind of know where she's at. You can kind of just go about it and use you could just go about it and use your Lori bot at some point, and then you know where Lily's at the entire time. So for that, I believe that is the best counter as well. Those are the best counters in my opinion to all these new brawlers and meta brawlers. Let me know if you have any other questions down below, or if you have any changes that you'd like to make. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.
It's gonna be a